Hey guys, it's Taku. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Summer is finally starting to wind down, which means it's time to look back on all of the anime releases that I've picked up over the past 3 or 4 months. I believe the last haul that I recorded was my spring anime haul, which would have been probably end of April-ish. So yeah, it's been about 4 months. I've got a larger stack than honestly even I anticipated. Once I started going through the checklist and pulling things off the shelves, I realized, oh, I bought a lot more than I thought. Some of these releases are brand new, straight, hot off the press, and then others are going through more of my backlog and picking up older releases. So, we're actually going to start with one that's not anime. This is the only one, and this one has a bit of a story to it, so let me explain. This is Over the Moon. It is a Netflix, CG kids movie. It has musical elements to it, and Philippa Sue voices kind of the main goddess lady here. But that's besides the point. I love this movie. I think this movie is so cute, and it's one of those where with kids shows these days or kids movies, it's hard for me to watch some of them just because, they're cringy. They're not for me. And sometimes I even wonder if they're for kids. So this one, though, I think it hits all the right notes, pun intended. I love the themes of Mid-Autumn Festival, or I think it's just Lunar New Year. I can't remember. But there's just so much in here that is Chinese fantasy incorporated into this story of loss and memory, and it's really sweet. It's really good, and it's really heartfelt. Funny thing about this now, this is a fan-made release. This is a fake. This is, it's in Netflix prison, so there is no Blu-ray release for it. So, when I open the inside there, you'll notice there's a couple discs. This is the one that came with this set. And I did play it, and it did work. It works really well. The only weird thing is that the subtitles are burned into the thing, so you have to watch it with subtitles, which, since it's got musical elements into it, there could be worse things wrong with it. It's fine, though. It is Blu-ray, so it is also very HD. This one here, because some people are like, wait, why are you buying fake stuff? Well, first of all, you can't get this anywhere else. The only way to get it is fake. If you're not picking up someone's bootleg or fan-made version of it, you can chase down a screener disc. So this is actually a Netflix screener disc. It was for award shows and for vetting some kind of thing. It came in the little packet, which I put away. And so this is DVD though. So that's why I was like, well, I'm going to get this, and then I'm going to get this as well. So safe to say, I've spent a little bit more money on this than I should. I have given it my money, even though it has not gone to the official means, but I've also, streamed it again a couple times. I would just hate for anything to happen to it. So, pretty good fake for someone's fan-made version, and it's very HD print. So, a lot said on that. And I know it's not anime, but I wanted to share it off anyway because it's going to incorporate this theme of stars and planets that this haul just unintentionally ended up taking. Speaking of planets, we've got The Colors Within. This is Naoko Yamada's movie on Steelbook. I legit can't remember if I hauled this. If I did, it would have been last video, but since I can't remember, we're just going to do it again. I did get this Steelbook release because I thought it was pretty. I like the steelbook more than the standard cover. And I actually never buy steelbooks. I prefer ones with the cardboard slip. So, it says a lot that I liked that visual. My DVD is taken out because it's in my DVD bag that I used to put all my anime DVDs in, just so I can have 2 copies saved somewhere. And this is the inside. I love the watercolors. This movie is so good and so lighthearted. I still haven't seen it in the dub version, but I've heard good things about it from that standpoint. But then as just a movie by itself, it is much more carefree, much more spirited, and I thought it was going to be really... I guess sometimes I associate Naoko Yamada, if it's not silly slapstick, it could be really intense. And this movie is not that, and I think it works to its advantage. The 3 characters are lots of fun, and you should totally pick this up. You tell me though, do you like the Steelbook or do you like the other standard edition? Okay, next I've got two here that I wanted to share at the same time. This is me doing more of my Frankenstein Blu-ray releases for my shelf, so bear with me. This is Fire Force Season 1 Part 1. This is Fire Force Season 2 Part 1. So, like, why do I have Part 1s of different seasons? Well, let me show you. This set is Blu-ray plus DVD. And then on the inside, you'll notice that there's actually different artwork from the cover, because this is actually the Part 2 set. So on the inside, I have taken the Blu-ray discs that make 1, 2, and then here's Part 2, 3, and then 4. And then I gave the Part 2s to my sister because she also loves Fire Force. It's one of the shows that we just bond over all the time. We've actually cosplayed. I've cosplayed 3 different characters from Fire Force, and she always likes to cosplay Maki when we go to conventions. So it's a show that means a lot to both of us. And so I thought, well, if I'm picking this up and I don't really need a DVD copy, why not give it to her? So she now has Fire Force on her shelves, and I've got it on mine. And we are both so excited for Season 3. If you're not familiar with Fire Force, it is set in kind of this fantasy-esque Tokyo. It's a bit dystopian the further you watch, so I won't spoil it. But they live in a society where people spontaneously combust into flames. And to put the fires out and to put souls to rest, the Tokyo Fire Force exists in its several different departments. So you follow Company 8 as they investigate the mystery, I guess, surrounding spontaneous human combustion, which leads to a great prophecy about the sun and the world they live in. This is Part 2. I like having all the different artworks too. It worked out really well. So here's disc 1, disc 2, 3, and 4. And then here is the inside, which I love art that has Hamea on it. I think Hamea is such a silly character. But I have cosplayed Arthur, I have cosplayed Shinra, and I have done Lieutenant Hinowa. And Hinowa just works well because some days where I want to wear glasses, he's a character that wears glasses. When I don't wear glasses, though, and I don't have bleached blonde hair, I will do Shinra. I just have to remember to bring my slides because Shinra's fire comes out of his feet. So there's Season 1 and Season 2. I hope I'll be able to pick up Season 3 and do the same thing with it. Put Part 1 and Part 2 in one case, and then put the other one in its own case and give it away. Next up, we're continuing our shonen run. This is Dandadan Season 1. I love Dandadan. It's just as fun as everyone said it was going to be because I picked it up as kind of a afterwards. I watched the first episode when it was airing, and then this is how bad I was with it. My sister and I were just casually in a state where we could just go watch Evil Eye, which is the first few episodes of the second season. So we did. And then we're like, we should really watch Season 1. So we went back and we finished Season 1. We had seen some of it. But yeah, sometimes we do that with shonen stuff. It's not that deep to us, as long as we have a good time with it. When we stop having a good time with it, that's when I know like we need to go find a new show. They chose the creepy art, though, for the inside. Wow, GKIDS. They chose the creepy stuff. They could have gone silly with this, but they did not. That is the interesting thing about this release, is that it is GKIDS releasing it. So you've got, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to continue to release this anime series. But I did watch all of the bonus features. And I'm excited to see where Season 2 goes from here. So, Dandadan. It's great. It's amazing. Next release is another GKIDS release. This is Grave of the Fireflies. I actually own the Sentai Filmworks Blu-ray of Grave of the Fireflies that's like went out of print a long time ago. And there's nothing wrong with that release. But again, now I can have a release that matches all my other sets since GKIDS owns the Ghibli catalog. And so now this sits on my shelf, and the old Grave of the Fireflies went to sister as well. She gets a lot of free things, it seems. This film is really good. If you haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, it's really good. I'm a late bloomer to it. I did not watch it, I think, until this year for the first time. Partially because, I don't know, I think I was putting it off because everyone said it was like the saddest anime movie ever made. And while it is quite sad, I don't think it's the saddest movie I've ever seen. It's very historically dense. And I mean that in a way that, like, you can watch it without knowing too much. But what I mean is, like, the more you do know, and the closer proximity you are to knowing the history, studying the history, or even know someone or, who lived through the history of the events of World War, it's even more shocking. So I think this is now updated. Yeah, GKIDS can do a full spread of all of them. I think previously there would always be a little spot down here. But now with these two, they have filled up the sheet. And then the steelbook's on the back. I actually do almost regret getting, I wish I got the steelbook version of it because that artwork is really good. I just like it a lot. But now my sets match, and I can't complain there. So it is a movie that I think begs a rewatch on my end, because I watched it, and I mean, yeah, it was good and it was intense, but I want to see it again. I watched it in Japanese, but this series has a history of different dubs, so if it's like dub history is like your thing, track down the different versions and see which one's your favorite. I'm not sure which versions are on that, by the way. I think that one includes the most recent ones. We slide over to Viz Media for a bit with Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the film trilogy. I am buying this purely because I'm a collector. Let me put that out there. I own all of these on individual Blu-ray sets, and that is like my preferred way to own it. But this trilogy has the artwork of the first movie, the R movie, which in the US it was called Promise of the Rose. And they didn't do it when they first released the set. If you go watch my Sailor Moon collection video, which I think is my most viewed video, if you click in it and watch it, you'll see me talk about the Sailor Moon R movie release and why I have a little bit of issues with the art chosen. This is the traditional art, and so now we have the missing cover. The only problem is that this art should be printed on the slip on the inside, and that's not what they did. So, me being me, I stuck my Sailor Moon R, the new one, in here. So this is like the old one, but it's like newly done up art. And then on the inside, you can actually see it peeking through on the bottom. There is this is like the actual slip that goes with this one. And they put all three movies, which normally this would be fine. This would be very acceptable. But I already own these three. So that's what I did. I haven't really have any reason to like play the discs on the trilogy set, so that went into my little family case, my DVD case, and then this, I just put the R movie in here. So we're kind of hauling Sailor Moon R the movie again, but this is like the main thing about it. I actually like the way this set looks a lot. Someone had said they like went ahead with like the bootleg looking font, and I guess this had been a cover that had been like done up for years, and either they used it or they found just made a really similar one. I just think it's a funny release. Viz Media and your choices with Sailor Moon. Anyway, the series is now complete. So I'm really now just looking forward to whenever we get Eternal and Cosmos on Blu-ray. We're going to keep going with some old stuff for a while. This is a collection of Studio Ghibli shorts, commercials, little previews from 1992 to 2016. And these were collected onto one little Blu-ray set. And you can see here that on your mark, I believe, on your mark, the 7-minute-ish music video is included to its fullest. Don't quote me on that, because this is like an import release, so I don't even think there are subtitles with this. But I bought it because it just happened to fall into my lap, and so I went ahead and just did it. So with this, there's a little booklet that's got some information about each of the little commercials, designs. It's a neat thing if you like to, I mean, if you take more of like the historian edge. I kind of just wanted the on your mark on disc. So, yeah. If it's not on here and I'm a complete liar, then at least I own a bunch of commercials. But in the event that I am right and it is on here, then we have something that's really worth putting on your shelf. So, yeah. Keeping with a similar theme, we've got Chie the Brat. This is the second TV series. I hauled the first one, I think about a year ago, and I watched the whole thing. That one is the series directed by Isao Takahata, and it's so fun. I love Chie. I love Downtown Story. I immediately fell in love with all of these characters, these wild personalities that I think are more personal to me because they resemble some real scenarios and people in my own life. Trust me, I'm fine. I had a great childhood, but there is something about, you know, growing up downtown, and I just like this series a lot. This is the second TV series. Apparently, they went back and they remade or revisited the early content and then took it in a different direction. I don't know if that direction was closer to the original comic that it was based on, but this one is not helmed by Isao Takahata. It is done by a different director, and it's 39 episodes, standard definition on one Blu-ray disc. So happy to have it just in general, because now I've got a full little Chie library. And the inside is so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the names of some of the characters, so when I revisit this, I will definitely have the time of my life. This was originally presented in Japanese with English subtitles, and this release is no different. So, no dub for Chie, if you like dubs. But honestly, the Japanese is so hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're so cool. They are the coolest kids. Chie kind of grows up fast in her family because her dad and her mom are going through a bit of a separation phase. Dad owns a restaurant, which means when he's out gambling, the family's money away, and mom is staying with her parents. Chie minds the shop. So I love this girl who's got all these responsibilities. She's also, of course, navigating youth and growing up through elementary school, middle school, things like that. Another Discotek release here. So we're back to space. We're to the stars. This is Leiji Matsumoto's Galaxy Express 39. This is the first set on Blu-ray, which is the first 39 episodes. I really wish I picked all of this up before it went out of print. This remains one of my biggest regret series, like probably of all time as a collector. It's so hard to find set 2 and set 3 now. So if anyone can find them for cheap, I mean, send me a link. I'm desperate. But this is the first 39 episodes. And if you don't know where to start with Galaxy Express 39 and you don't want to watch the films that kind of recap and tell the end of the story, really all you need then is set 1. And I had been watching this like at snail's pace. Maybe 2 to 3 episodes a year. It kind of became a holiday treat where every year around like Christmas I would watch a couple episodes of 39, and I would only make it like 12 to 15 episodes in by the time of purchasing this set. The artwork is so snazzy, this blue and white of Tetsuro there, and I love that all of the episodes are listed. So I had basically completed the first disc, maybe a little bit into disc 2. Which I'm actually rectifying now by watching it, because here's disc 1. Disc 2's in my player, so it's not here, and I felt too lazy to get it. And then disc 3 has our conductor on it, our cowardly but loyal conductor. And Galaxy Express 39 takes the motif of the train that rides through its space to its fullest. Tetsuro, after losing his mom in a horrible homicide raid of his home, he is bent on going to the planet where he can get a free metal body as long as he can survive the trip. and Maytel, a mysterious woman with blonde hair, accompanies him on the 3-9. And every episode presents a new scenario that is heartbreaking and tragic and just really sad. I think that's part of the reason why I couldn't make it through so many episodes at once. And it's always funny, though, because even though Tetsuro goes through this just awful, scenario of living life in someone else's shoes for a day, they visit various planets for each episode, he still gets back on the train to continue their journey. So he's nuts. He's nuts for that. I have no idea how this ends, though. After being a fan for all these years, I still don't know how it ends. Alright, I've got Captain Harlock's Space Pirate, and I know these two series kind of go together. This is the complete collection. This is episodes 1 through 42, and this is a new release from Discotek. I think they had it on DVD, but it's now on Blu-ray. So I went ahead and picked these up, actually like in the latest Crunchyroll sale. So yeah, it was nice to just snag both of these up and go for it. I don't really have too much to say. I didn't think I would get into Harlock, but after watching enough episodes of Galaxy Express, I realized I would rather get this and then not regret missing out on it if it goes out of print than... Actually, that's it. I just didn't want to regret it going out of print. And since this one was all in one set, I figured this would be easier for my wallet to digest. Of course, Discotek does an amazing job with these discs. They all look so sharp, and I like the way these sets almost parallel the other ones really well, with the kind of cutaway art here in the middle. I don't know any of the characters, but I am bound to know them soon. So, yeah, this is more anime in space for space lovers. This next one is not set in space, but the journey goes really far. Very far. So far, it's a place further than the universe. Guys, I finally have this series on Blu-ray. May Yorimoi wanters be Yorimoi havers. This series was brought over by Shout Factory in the US. It's all the anime. Finally was probably the one that caved in with the license. They released it on a limited edition set, which I was like, let me play the waiting game and see if I can get this for like a really good price. Waited so long it went out of print, and then they announced a standard as it was going out of print. So then I said, oh, I'll just wait for this. And then my family got it for me as a gift. So I didn't even have to pay for it myself after all these years of waiting. This was one of my favorite anime of, like, was it 2018 or 2019 when it came out? These girls band together on a trip to Antarctica, and it's the expedition that I'm so in love with. Oh my god, someone is outside revving their engines. But you could definitely hear that. They're excited, I guess, for Yorimoi as much as I am. This series, though, the first few episodes really got me to just want to not only travel, but just to get up and, like, change your life. It's one of those surprisingly hits the feels. It hits the heart. And when the music is good, it's good. When the animation is good, it's silly. And it's just it's a heartwarming little story. Now, eventually, it gets a little busy with what it wants to do. But I like... Oh, yeah. Atsuko Ishizuka directed this. Same person who did Goodbye Donglis, which is a similar movie about kind of throwing caution to the wind and going on a reckless trip. So, reckless road trips are kind of the thing. But... yeah, it was just such a good series, and I always wanted to have it on Blu-ray because I do want to rewatch it. I remember the first episode being a little slow, but then episode 2, 3, and 4 were really good. And then after that, the momentum just keeps going. Speaking of series, by the way, that I've always wanted to have on Blu-ray, at last, UFO is here! This is Sound Euphonium Season 1 on Blu-ray. This one was brought to us by Crunchyroll. You can see their logo on the bottom there. Very curious, though, because Pony Canyon logo is also on here. Pony Canyon licensed the second season and released those on Blu-ray sets years ago. I don't even know if there was season 1 sets. I really can't remember, or even season 3 for that matter. But we finally have season 1 on a complete Blu-ray set that is not cumbersome to own. I'm so excited for this. It's a bit annoying because I just did a rewatch of this series last year. But I love them. I love this class. There's Asuka with her incredibly loud tuba. Or euphonium, sorry. But yeah, this one is lots of fun. If you were ever a concert kid, or concert band, orchestra, marching band, if you did any of those kinds of fine arts or music stuff growing up, then this is definitely a series that will have some resonance with you. And even if not, the characters are very endearing. Kyoto Animation's animation is fantastic. I think this was like one of the best looking series ever, and still holds up like a decade later. So yeah, I hope Crunchyroll will bring over season 2 and season 3 eventually, because we have bits and pieces of movies, and from Shout Factory, I think GKIDS, just different people over the years have released movies. But finally, UFO. It's amazing. It actually feels very surreal to see both of these in my hands right now. And this was also a gift from family. So I feel so blessed. The last anime I have for you is another one that was long in the waiting, but I'm a little less excited for this one. This is Psycho-Pass Providence. It is the final film in the Psycho-Pass franchise, because that's kind of what it's become. Different seasons, full seasons, OVA series, TV series, films. It's crazy how much Psycho-Pass has now to its name. And it's kind of... This actually does a really good job. This is the missing link of the series. There's some time skips between the third season and events that take place between the final films. And this is not only a film that's... Well, I think this film is set like during all of those. So it's like the last thing that people were wondering, like, well, why is this character behaving this way? Or why is this person acting like this? And this is what's happened. Why is the world the way it is? It's because this film. And it's okay. I had the privilege of seeing Psycho-Pass Providence in theaters when it came out in 2023 to the US. So it's a long time coming to see this on Blu-ray. I've also been a fan of this franchise for over a decade, I think. Psycho-Pass Season 1 was one of my first things I hauled from Right Stuff Anime back in the day. And so I got part 1 and part 2. And I remember being so excited, and I watched it over an entire winter break, was completely spellbound by the world of the Sibyl system and Akane Tsunemori's just really good, strong sense of justice. And Akane Tsunemori to this day remains one of my favorite characters. Unfortunately, the big hype reunion that takes place between two of the characters in the series is kind of it falls a bit flat, I think. And that's what this film is trying to do, is it bridges characters together and bridges memories together. It's good. It's fine. I think it's a stronger entry than some of the other films, but yeah, the antagonist is okay. The big reunion is okay, but have me hooked on those credits. Wow, that credit sequence and epilogue, to this day I'm shook. I do have one little bonus for you. This was a gift from around the time of my birthday as well, because my birthday falls at the end of summer. This is 100 Line, The Last Defense Academy. I am a huge Danganronpa fan. I love anything that the whole team tackles, but Kodaka is a wizard in my mind, and this 100 Line game is like the famous one for... It's a new game for the Switch, but it's famous for having like 100+ different story routes. And I'm not just meaning like, oh, you died and someone else lived and that's it. They go full on and have entirely new narrative routes. It's like a visual novel, but on steroids. And not only that, but it's also like an interactive game. So you're not just like clicking through text the whole time. So I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess I should say. I'm so in love with Danganronpa because the scope remains really strong with Danganronpa. It set out to do exactly what it wanted to do, and it remains one of the tightest game trilogies in my mind. But I'm always eager to see what Kodaka does next with his projects. I've followed along with some of his anime series like Akudama Drive and Tribe 9. So 100 Line was one of those other titles that was long ago discussed, and it's finally here. And so I'm excited to play it. Not sure when, but I'm excited. I'm going to bring everything back on here because we are at the end. Guys, let me know if you are watching any of these titles, or if you were as hyped up for some of these releases as I was. Between Harlock, UFO, and Place Further Than the Universe, there's already a lot to be excited about. But then I'm also, I'm also filling in the gaps of some of my favorite shonen and films. So this was, there we go. This was the anime for, minus Over the Moon. This is the anime for this summer. I'll come back again, I guess, in a few months and do it all over again with whatever the fall brings. This is more than I expected, so expect fall to be a lot smaller. In fact, depending on how much I get, I might even just move it all to end of year. In which case, it'll be like 5 months. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and till next time.